You better use the service.
That's beautiful. Hello, Rodney. He's gone.
Welcome to Bere Regis Village Hall for this most important occasion, when Mrs. Alison Jane Bennett is to be invested with the British Empire Medal, which has been awarded in the New Year's Honours List. I'd like to formally introduce Mrs. Marilyn Porter, on my left here, who's the Deputy Clerk of the Lieutenancy. Don't be fooled about the title. There's nothing that Marilyn doesn't know about the royal family or the Lieutenancy's duties, certainly a lot more than I do, so without that I'd be absolutely lost. I'm delighted to see family and friends and supporters here today for this important ceremony. National honours are highly prized and they're respected and are only awarded to those people whose exceptional example, determination and commitment make an outstanding difference to others. I'm truly delighted to be able to present your honour this morning in the presence of your family, friends and colleagues. However, before reading your citation and making this presentation, I'd like to speak briefly of the history of the British Empire Medal. Once I've done this, I will ask you to come forward and I'll read out your citation and we'll then invest you with your medal. That is wrong because I'm going to let you sit for your citation. I corrected one version and this is the other. The British Empire Medal was established in 1922 to replace the Medal of the Order of the British Empire. It's awarded for meritorious civil and military service worthy of recognition by the Crown. It was awarded to subjects of the United Kingdom until 1992, after which it lay in abeyance in the UK, although it was still presented in some Commonwealth realms. The reintroduction of the award was warmly welcomed when it was brought out of abeyance to mark the Diamond Jubilee of Her Majesty the Queen. As Lord Lieutenant of Dorset, it's a tremendous honour for me, on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, to invest you with this medal, which is a clear mark of your service and achievement. This is your citation, and this is what you've been officially awarded the medal for. In brief, voluntary and charitable services, but that doesn't say it all, does it? For over 20 years, Alison has been at the helm of Poppin Place, pioneering community group and cafe in Bere Regis, Dorset, that was ahead of its time in bringing together socially isolated young mothers and elderly people. Alison started her volunteering career whilst raising a young family. I'm going to pick this up because my glasses are not true. Whilst raising a young family and by helping to raise funds for the first play park in the village of Bere Regis. Soon after this, in 1996, Alison was instrumental in setting up the Poppin Place, as they recognised there was nowhere for local villagers to meet. Alison and Tina, her co-founder, who has since sadly passed away, were unusual at that time in identifying the issue of rural isolation for elderly and young mums. After recognising there was nowhere for people in the village to meet, Alison went about setting up a community cafe that was ahead of its time for combating the isolation experienced by young mothers and the elderly in rural settings. The cafe is well attended by both the elderly and young people and provides space for villagers to come together and enjoy a cup of tea in company of others. Alison regularly arranges for visiting speakers and other activities such as quizzes, musical events and memory mornings to attract additional visitors. During the past 20 years, numerous fundraising events have taken place and over £84,000 has been raised during this time to support other local causes, including Dorchester Baby Care Unit, Dorchester Cardiac Unit, the Dorset Air Ambulance. She has also raised £100,000 through her personal campaign for Alzheimer's UK. Annually, the Poppin Place holds fundraising events for Macmillan Coffee Morning, Children in Need and Help for Heroes. Alison also arranges volunteers, mainly herself, to provide a much-needed outreach service for those who are housebound and living in isolation. This includes frequent hospital visits. Alison personally takes responsibility for many of the less fortunate members of the community, and this can range from personal advice and support to medical assistance. Alison also produces twice-yearly performances at the cafe, including pantomimes and musicals, directing amateur actors of all ages, which helps attendees gain new skills and gain more confidence. In December 2017, the Prime Minister recognised Alison's outstanding voluntary work with a Point of Light Award. The local MP, Michael Tomlinson MP, said of her work, "Alison is a dedicated member of the village community and is always available to help those in need," and that cannot be doubted, can it, when you all that out. Alison, we need you here. Many congratulations. Hugely well deserved. It's nice to come to your home village and present it to you. Get a lot more people in here than you could.
My Lord Lieutenant, ladies and gentlemen, may I begin by saying a big thank you to you and to Marilyn for coming to Bere Regis today. It's meant so much to me to be able to receive this award in front of the people that have worked alongside me over many years. I'd also like to thank Michael Tomlinson MP and Councillor Peter Ward for the support that they have shown the Poppin Place over many years. So looking back over the last 22 years, the Poppin Place has played a vital role within Bere Regis. It has enabled people to become connected within their own community, and we support people through bereavement, through illness, both physical and mental, and many challenging times. With the help of our wonderful volunteer drivers, we are able to get the most isolated people in the village to our cafes. And this act of kindness has had the power to turn lives around. We share and celebrate all the good things in people's lives too, and we pride ourselves in the knowledge that there is always a warm and friendly welcome to everyone who walks through our door. All of this can only be achieved when like-minded people get together. People who want to make a difference, and we have been blessed with some wonderful volunteers. People who in so many different ways are prepared to put the needs of others first and give so much of their own time to opportunities to make lives better. This medal is also about each one of you. The Poppin Performers Group is another great success story, and we watch young people grow in talent and ability, but more importantly in self-worth, self-belief and self-confidence. In the last 22 years, the group has raised thousands of pounds for charities and worthy causes, and we always learn about our selected charities. And in turn, this has taught young people to look beyond the latest mobile phone app and understand that for some people, life can be very difficult. To all our volunteers here today, continue to shine. This community needs you. It needs all of us to keep going, keep doing the important job that we have started. The Poppin Place team endeavours to identify needs within the community and act upon them. And our next new project is a community shed. We are very grateful to Vitacress for giving us that opportunity. I naturally wish that both Tina Alford was here today to witness the recognition that our project has generated. And of course my mother. Today demonstrates that with a good role model, even from the most difficult of beginnings, with tenacity and courage, an individual can make a real and positive difference. It's lovely to see my family here, my children and my grandchildren, and my sister Jo, who is winning her own battle right now with great courage. And she might be proud of me, but I'm incredibly proud of her. Thank you to the friends, the people who stand shoulder to shoulder, supporting each other while we carry out our different roles, supporting the wider community. Under the umbrella of the Popping Place, we have forged genuine friendships that I believe will last a lifetime. Thank you to Paul. Paul has been truly wonderful over many years of my involvement in community projects, and this BEM is as much about him and his support and understanding as it is about me. And finally, this British Empire medal may have my name upon it, but your fingerprints are all over it. Thank you. My Lord, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to say a few words about Alison on this wonderful and most memorable of days. Every so often in life, you know you've met somebody special, someone who makes a difference, someone you can laugh with, cry with, offload to, or just sit with, and they'll always take time to stop, to listen, and to help. Someone who can put you at ease with just one word and make you feel valued. I found this in Alison Bennett. This lady, no matter how busy with her own children, her grandchildren, numerous community projects, groups that are constant, time-consuming and at times exhausting, always has time for others. Alison has dedicated a lifetime ensuring that nobody is excluded, lonely or isolated. She works tirelessly, endlessly and passionately for people and community, whilst raising money for charity, local, national and international along the way. We've talked about the sums of money and I believe it's in excess now of £110,000 so far. Alison's built a team around her that share her values and her dedication. The people that are on the committees for many groups within Popping Place and the Village Hall, the people that are always there at events supplying drinks and refreshments, those baking, those making, those counting, those banking. And those making sure that everyone that walks through the door is given a friendly welcome and a smile. I've been lucky enough to be a very small part of some of the groups over the years. I have been seen dressed in some very strange costumes, made a few teas, baked a few cakes and sung a few songs. I've been known as Robin Hood, Peggy D, Calamity Jane, a Wurzel and one of the 3 degrees, to name a few. I've been dressed in Easter bonnets, 70s flares, gold sequin dresses, feather boas, green wellies, tap shoes, cowboy hats and angel costumes, complete with halo. Often, whilst making the said costumes, we have been being seen parading in the early hours of the morning around Rydal Close, just to make sure they fit, they look right and flow in the right direction. Which brings me on to the antics. Over the years, we've laughed, we've cried. In fact, we've laughed until we cried. We've agreed and disagreed, and sometimes we've just sat with each other without saying a word when no words were needed. We've thrown swedes around with the late, great Tony Shave whilst singing Santa Baby. We've had to apologise to our dear and sorely missed Pastor Jim when the odd curse or swear word has slipped out. We've sung old songs with Pammy, Alison's much loved and forever missed mum, who in her latter years has suffered memory loss due to Alzheimer's, just to help her remember. Now the planning meetings for the Popping Performers Group shows do go on long into the night, and as do the adult team rehearsals, apologies to the hall's neighbours. But how we've laughed and made memories that will last a lifetime. There, as always, laughing with us is Alison, our director, our team leader, our guidance, our confidant, our encouragement, our strength, and someone who has taught me that one random act of kindness can change a person's whole day. And I am lucky enough to call her my friend. She is the visualisation of love and kindness. Thank you, Alison, for everything you've done and continue to do. I give you Alison Bennett.
Very briefly, I wanted to say a thank you and propose a vote of thanks to our Lord Lieutenant Angus. I have to tell you that normally these things are done in batches and they're normally done somewhere else, and typically there are 5 or more people in one batch, and it lacks a little bit of the personal touch that we've had today. And Angus has taken the trouble to come out here, partially because he's been here once before and really enjoyed it, and partially because he recognised the incredible value and community services that Alison has given to this community. So would you put your hands together for Angus Campbell?
Well, it was a huge pleasure, I can say that.
Oh, thank you.
Now it's time to all start eating and drinking things.